In this video, we are going to talk about question and answer in functions. I've already done a video on functions, so I'll link that video in the description. Find the values of x for which x plus 1 divided by 3x squared minus 12 is not defined. Now, if you have a function, let's say f of x equals g of x divided by h of x. Now, f of x is not defined if h of x is equal to 0. So now, to find the values for which this function is not defined, it means that 3x squared minus 12 should be equal to 0. So let's divide through by 3. You get x squared, then minus 12 divided by 3 is minus 4 equals 0. However, you can see that 4 squared can also be written as 2 squared. So it becomes x squared minus 2 squared equals 0. Now, a squared minus b squared is what? Difference of 2 squares. So this is equal to, into bracket, a plus b times, to bracket, a minus b. So x squared minus 2 squared is, into bracket, x plus 2, then times another bracket, x minus 2 equals 0. So you can see that the values of x are x equals minus 2 or x equals 2. So the values of x for which this function is not defined is x equals minus 2 and x equals 2. Find the least value of x for which this expression, which is this expression, equals 0. So what it means is that all we have to do is to take this expression and then equate it to 0. So this is equal to 0. Now, if you multiply through by 1 plus x, that will go away. So we'll be left with 2 minus x squared equals 0. However, you see that minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. So two numbers that if we multiply, you get minus 2. But if we add, we will get minus 1. So those numbers are minus 2 and then 1. So what it means is that this becomes 2 minus 2x plus x minus x squared equals 0. So with this, we can factorize 2 out. We are left with 1 minus x. Then plus, with this, we can factorize x out. We are left with 1 minus x equals 0. So into one bracket, 2 plus x, then times another bracket, 1 minus x equals 0. So now, the values of x are x equals 1 or x equals minus 2. However, the question says the least value. So between 1 and minus 2, which one is small? So minus 2 is the smallest, and therefore the least value is x equals minus 2. Given that f of x is equal to 2x minus 1 and g of x equals x squared plus 1, I find f of, into bracket, 1 plus x. Then I find the range of values of x for which f of x is less than minus 3. And then I simplify f of x minus g of x. So the function is f of x equals 2x minus 1. Now we are supposed to find f of 1 plus x. So what it means is that wherever we see x in this function, we should replace it with 1 plus x. So this becomes 2 times 1 plus x minus 1. And this is equal to 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2 times x is 2x minus 1. So this becomes 2x, then 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 1. Now let's come to the second part. It says that we should find the range of values of x for which f of x is less than minus 3. So now, that means that 2x minus 1 must be less than minus 3. So 2x must be less than minus 3 plus 1, which is minus 2. So you divide 2 by 2 and divide here 2 by 2. So you see that x must be less than minus 1. So the range of values of x for which f of x is less than minus 3 is x less than minus 1. Then the last part says we should simplify f of x minus g of x. Now, f of x is 2x minus 1. Then minus g of x is x squared plus 1. So we have 2x minus 1. Then minus 1 times x squared is minus x squared. then minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. So if we rearrange well, now minus 1 will give us minus 2. So this becomes 2x then minus x squared minus 2. So let's rearrange. So this becomes minus x squared plus 2x minus 2. F is said that x maps onto x minus 1 divided by 2. And J is said that x maps to 3x plus 1. I evaluate f of minus 1 over 2 plus 1. And then I solve f of x equals j of minus 2. So now f of x is equal to x minus 1 divided by 2. So what is f of minus 1 over 2 plus 1? That is equal to, wherever we see x, we need to replace it with minus 1 over 2. So this becomes minus 1 over 2 minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Now, minus 1 over 2 minus 1 is minus 3 over 2 divided by 2 plus 1. And this is equal to minus 3 over 4 plus 1. And then this will give us 1 over 4. The second part says we should solve f of x equals j of minus 2. So let's find j of minus 2. J of minus 2 is equal to, wherever we see x in j, we need to replace it with minus 2. So that becomes 3 times minus 2 plus 1. And that is equal to minus 6 plus 1, which is equal to 5. So now, what he's trying to say is that x minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 5. So x minus 1 is equal to 2 times 5, which is 10. Therefore, x is equal to 10 plus 1. So x is equal to 11. Sorry, I made a mistake. Here is minus 5. And because here is minus 5, it's going to change the answer. So here is going to be minus 10 plus 1, which is minus 9. Given that f of x equals px plus q, find the values of p and q if f of 2 is equal to 4 and f of 4 is equal to 10. So f of x is equal to px plus q. So f of 2 is equal to, wherever we see x, replace it with 2. So this becomes 2p plus q. And that is equal to 4. So this is equal to 4. So it implies that 2p plus q equals 4. This is equation 1. Now let's find f of 4. That is equal to 4p plus q. And f of 4 is 10. So this is equal to 10. And therefore, 4p plus q is equal to 10, equation 2. So let's find equation 2 minus equation 1. So that's going to give us 4p minus 2p because q minus q is 0. And this will be 10 minus 4. So 4p minus 2p is 2p equals 10 minus 4 is 6. So if we divide through by 2, divide here 2 by 2, we find out that p is equal to 3. Also, remember that we said from equation 1, 2p plus q is equal to 4. Now we know that p is 3, so it becomes 2 times 3 plus q equals 4. So q is equal to 4 minus 2 times 3 is 6. So q is equal to 4 minus 6, which is minus 2. Therefore, p is equal to 3, and then q is equal to minus 2. Two functions f and g are defined by f is said that x maps to 2x squared minus 1, and g is said that x maps to 3x plus 2, where x is a real number. If f of x minus 1 minus 7 is equal to 0, find the value of x. And then I evaluate f of minus 1 over 2 times g of 3 divided by f of 4 minus g of 5. So let's start with the first part. He's saying that f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 1. So f of x minus 1 is equal to, wherever we see x, replace it with x minus 1. So this becomes 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 1. So this becomes 2 times. Now, let's do something down here. In binomial expansion, a minus b squared is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So this becomes x squared, then 2 times x is x, 2x. Then times minus 1 becomes minus 2x. Then minus 1 squared is 1, so plus 1. Then minus 1. So this is equal to 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 2x is minus 4x. Then 2 times 1 is plus 2 minus 1. So it becomes 2x squared minus 4x. Then 2 minus 1 is 1, so plus 1. However, the question says that we should find f of x minus 1 minus 7 equals 0. So f of x minus 1 minus 7 is equal to 0. So take this, which is f of x minus 1. That's what we found here. That's 2x squared minus 4x plus 1 minus 7 equals 0. So this becomes 2x squared minus 4x. 1 minus 7 is minus 6 equals 0. However, we can divide through by 2. So this becomes x squared minus 2x. Then minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3 equals 0. So two numbers that if we multiply, we will get minus 3. But if we add, we get minus 2. So that's 3, minus 3 and 1. So here becomes x minus 3 in one bracket. Then x plus 1 equals 0. So the values of x are x equals minus 1 or x equals 3. The second part says we should evaluate all of this. So now the first thing is let's find f of minus 1 over 2. This is equal to, wherever you see x in f of x, replace it with minus 1 over 2. So this becomes 2 times minus 1 over 2 squared minus 1. This is equal to minus 1 over 2 squared is 1 over 4. So 2 times 1 over 4 minus 1. Now, 2 divided by 4 is 1 over 2. Then minus 1 will give us minus 1 over 2. Now, let's find g of 3. Remember that g of x is 3x plus 2. So g of 3 becomes 3 times 3 plus 2. And 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Let's find f of 4. F of 4 is equal to 2 times 4 squared minus 1. And 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 minus 1 is 31. Then now let's find g of 5 equals 3 times 5 plus 4. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 4 is 19. So f of minus 1 over 2 times g of 3 divided by f of 4 minus g of 5 equals f of minus 1 over 2 is minus 1 over 2. Then times g of 3. G of 3 is 11 divided by f of 4. F of 4 is 31 minus g of 5. G of 5 is 19. Now, if you type all of this into the calculator, you are going to get minus 11 over 28. Two functions f and g are defined as f is said that x maps to x squared over 4 minus 9. And g is said that x maps to 1 over 2x, where x is not 0. Now, we are supposed to evaluate f of 4 plus g of minus 1 over 3. So first, we know that f of x from the question is equal to x squared over 4 minus 9. So f of 4 is equal to, wherever you see x, put 4. So 4 squared divided by 4 minus 9. 4 squared is 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 4 minus 9 is minus 5. Then now, let's find g of minus 1 over 3. Is equal to, now here is 1 over 2x. So that will become 1 divided by 2 times minus 1 over 3. And this is equal to 1 divided by minus 2 over 3. Now, a all divided by b over c is equal to ac over b. So this is equal to minus 3 over 2. The next thing is that the question is saying we should find f of 4 plus g of minus 1 over 3. So that is equal to f of 4 is minus 5. Then g of minus 1 over 3 is minus 3 over 2. And if you compute this on the calculator, you are going to get minus 13 over 2. The second part is we should find f of x times g of x equals 2. So now, f of x is x squared divided by 4 minus 9. Then we need to multiply by g of x, and g of x is 1 over 2x. And the question says that all of that should be equal to 2. So let's multiply through by 2x. We'll be left with x squared over 4 minus 9 equals 2 times 2x is 4x. Now let's multiply through by 4. So here becomes x squared, then minus 9 times 4 is minus 36 equals 4x times 4 is 16x. So this becomes x squared minus 16x, then minus 36 equals 0. So two numbers that if you multiply, you get minus 36, but if you add, you get minus 16. Those numbers are minus 18 and then 2. So we have x minus 18 in one bracket, and then x plus 2 equals 0. So the values of x are x is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to minus 18. The function f is defined as f is said that x maps to x squared plus 9x over 2. I evaluate f of 2. I find the value of x for which f of x equals 17.5. And then b, a linear function f of x equals ax plus b, where a and b are constants. If f of 2 is equal to 1 and f of 4 equals 3, find f of x. So let's start with the first part. It says that we should evaluate f of 2. So f of 2 is equal to, now x squared, so 2 squared plus 9 times 2 divided by 2. 2 squared is 4. Then this 2 and this 2 will cancel. 4 plus 9 is 13. So f of 2 is 13. Now the next part says we should find the value of x for which f of x equals 17.5. 17.5, this is a mixed fraction. So let's convert it to an improper fraction. 17 times 2 is 34 plus 1, 35. So this becomes 35 over 2. So what it means is that x squared plus 9x over 2 is equal to 35 over 2. So let's multiply through by 2. It becomes 2x squared plus 9x equals 35. So this becomes 2x squared plus 9x minus 35 equals 0. So now 2 times minus 35 is minus 70. Two numbers that if we multiply, we will get minus 70, but if we add, we will get 9. Those numbers are 14 and minus 5. So we have 2x squared plus 14x minus 5x minus 35 equals 0. So if we factorize 2 here, we get x plus 7. Then if we factorize minus 5 here, let x plus 7 equals 0. So in one bracket, sorry, here's 2x. In one bracket, we have 2x minus 5. Then in another bracket, x plus 7 equals 0. So the values of x are x equals 5 over 2 or x equals minus 7. And the last part says that a linear function f of x equals, so f of x is equal to ax plus b. Now, it says that where a and b are constant, if f of 2 is 1 and f of 4 is 3, we are supposed to find, a and b. So now, let's find f of 2. That's equal to 2a plus b. And that is equal to 1. So this implies that 2a plus b is equal to 1. So this is equation 1. Then now, let's find f of 4. It's equal to, that will be 4a plus b. But f of 4 is equal to 3. So this must be equal to 3. This implies that 4a plus b is equal to 3, equation 2. So if we subtract equation 1 from equation 2, we left with 4a minus 2a is 2a. Then b minus b is 0 equals 3 minus 1. So this implies that 2a is equal to 3 minus 1 is 2. And therefore, this implies that a is equal to 1. Now, having gotten a equals 1, we know that 4a plus b equals 3. So 4 times 1 plus b is equal to 3. So b is equal to 3 minus 4. Therefore, b is equal to minus 1. So a is equal to 1 and then b is equal to minus 1. A function g is defined on a set of real numbers r by g of x equals 1 plus 3x divided by x minus 1, where x is not equal to 1. Find I, the image of minus 1 under the function g. I, the value of x for which g of x is equals 7. And then I, the value of g of minus 3. So g of x equals 1 plus 3x divided by x minus 1. So what is g of minus 1? Equals, so wherever you see x, put minus 1. So this becomes 1 plus 3 times minus 1 divided by minus 1 minus 1. So now 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 divided by minus 1 is minus 2. So this is equal to 1. So g of minus 1 is 1. Then now, the value of x for which g of x equals 7. So g of x is equal to 7. So what it means is that 1 plus 3x divided by x minus 1 must be equal to 7. So 1 plus 3x is equal to 7 times x minus 1. So 1 plus 3x equals 7 times x is 7x. 7 times minus 1 is minus 7. So if we group like terms, 7x minus 3x is equal to 1 plus 7. 7x minus 3x is 4x equals 1 plus 7 is 8. So if we divide through by 4, we find out that x is equal to 2. Then the last part says that we should find the value of g of minus 3. So g of minus 3 is equal to 1 plus 3 times minus 3 divided by minus 3 minus 1. So 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. 1 minus 9 is minus 8 divided by minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. Minus 8 divided by minus 4 equals 2. Given that f is said that x maps to x plus 3 and g is said that x maps to x squared, I find g of f of x. I evaluate g of f of 2. Then I. Given that f of x equals k divided by x plus 1 plus 6 divided by x plus 2, find the values of x for which f of x is undefined. And then even if f of 5 is equal to 8, find k. So first, we know that f of x is equal to x plus 3. And then g of x is equal to x squared. So we are supposed to find g of f of x. What this means is that wherever we see x in g, we should put f of x. So this is equal to x plus 3 squared. And that is equal to x squared, then plus 2 times x is 2x times 3 becomes 6x plus 3 squared, which is 9. G of f of x is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 9. The question says we should find in the second part g of f of 2. So wherever we see x here, we need to replace it with 2. So this becomes 2 squared plus 6 times 2 plus 9. And this is equal to 2x. 2 squared is 4. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 9. So this is equal to 4 plus 12 is 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. Now, it says that given that f of x is equal to k over x plus 1, plus 6 over x plus 2. We should find the values of x for which f of x is undefined. So in this case, let's find the LCM. It's x plus 1 times x plus 2. So k will multiply x plus 2, and then 6 will multiply x plus 1. However, we can see that this function is of the form h of x divided by j of x. So f of x is undefined if and only if j of x is equal to 0. So what it means is that x plus 1 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 1 or x equals minus 2 is what makes f of x undefined. Then the last part says that f of 5 is 8. So let's find f of 5. That is equal to, wherever we see x, we need to put 5. So this becomes k times 5 plus 2, then plus 6 times 5 plus 1, divided by 5 plus 1 times 5 plus 2, and this is equal to 8. So 5 plus 2 is 7, so 7k plus 5 plus 1 is 6 times 6, 36, divided by 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 2 is 7, 6, 7 is 42. This is equal to 8. So this implies that 7k plus 36 is equal to 8 times 42, which is 336. And if you make k the subject, 7k is equal to 336 minus 36 is 300. So k is equal to 300 over 7. A function f is defined on the set R of real numbers by f is said that x maps to px squared plus qx plus 2, where p, q are constant. If f of minus 2 is 10 and f of 1 is 13, find the values of p and q and f of minus 3. So the function f of x is equal to px squared plus qx plus 2. So let's find f of minus 2. That's equal to p times minus 2 squared plus q times minus 2 plus 2. And this is equal to 10. So minus 2 squared is 4. So 4p then minus 2q equals 10 minus 2 is 8. So this implies that 4p minus 2q is equal to 8. So let's let this be our equation 1. So let's find f of 1. That is equal to p times 1 squared plus q times 1 plus 2 equals 13. So this becomes p times p plus q, plus 2 equals 13. So this implies that p plus q is equal to 13 minus 2 is 11. So this is equation 2. So now, let's multiply equation 1 by half. So 1 over 2 times 4p becomes 2p. And 1 over 2 times minus 2q becomes minus q. And 1 over 2 times 8 equals 4. So this is equation 3. And then now let's add equation 3 and then equation 2. So 2p plus p is 3p equals, now, plus q minus q is 0. 11 plus 4 is 15. So if you divide through by 3, you find out that p is equal to 5. However, we said that p plus q is equal to 11. So if p is 5, it means that q is equal to 11 minus 5. Therefore, q is equal to 6. So p is equal to 5 and then q is equal to 6. Then the question says that we should find f of minus 3. So f of x in this case is equal to, p is 5, so it becomes 5x squared. And then q is 6 plus 6x plus 2. So f of minus 3, wherever we see x, put in minus 3, becomes 5 times minus 3 squared plus 6 times minus 3 plus 2. So minus 3 squared is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. Then 6 times minus 3 is minus 18 plus 2. So 45 minus 18 plus 2 is 29. Two functions f and g are defined on the set of real numbers R by f is said that x maps to x squared minus 1 and g is said that x maps to x plus 2. They are supposed to find f of g of minus 2. So first, let's find f of g of x. So this is composite function. What it means is that wherever we see x in f, we should put g of x. So this becomes x plus 2 squared minus 1. So this becomes x squared, then 2 times x is 2x times 2 becomes 4x plus 2 squared 4 minus 1. This is equal to x squared plus 4x. Then 4 minus 1 is 3. So f of g of minus 2. Wherever we see x here, put minus 2. So this becomes minus 2 squared plus 4 times minus 2 plus 3. So this is equal to minus 2 squared is 4. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8 plus 3. And that is equal to 4 minus 8 is minus 4 plus 3. Give us minus 1. The functions f and g are defined on the set of real numbers R by f of x equals 2x minus 1 and g of x equals 5x. Find g of f inverse. So the first thing is that we need to find f inverse. So now we know that f of x is equal to 2x minus 1. Let's let y to be equal to f of x. It means that y is equal to 2x minus 1. Now interchange x and y. So it becomes x equals 2y minus 1. Now solve for y. So 2y is equal to x plus 1. We divide through by 2. We find out that y is equal to x plus 1 divided by 2. So f inverse of x is equal to x plus 1 divided by 2. Then now we are supposed to find g of f inverse of x. So what it means is that wherever we see x in g, we should put f of x. I know that g of x is equal to 5x. So g of f inverse is equal to 5 times x plus 1 divided by 2. So this becomes 5 over 2x plus 5 over 2. The functions f is said that x maps to x squared plus 1 and g is said that x maps to 5 minus 3x are defined on the set of real numbers R. State the domain f inverse, the inverse of f, and then find g inverse of 2. So f of x is equal to x squared plus 1. So we want to first find f inverse before we can state the domain. So let's let y to be equal to f of x. So this means that y is equal to x squared plus 1. Then now, to find f inverse, change x and y. So x is equal to y squared plus 1. Then now solve for y. So y squared is equal to x minus 1. You need to take square root on both sides. So y is equal to plus or minus square root of x minus 1. Then now, the question says that we should find the domain of f inverse. So this implies that f inverse of x is equal to plus or minus square root of x minus 1. Now for this domain, you know that square root of negative numbers give us imaginary numbers. So what it means is that x minus 1 must be greater or equal to 0. So x must be greater or equal to 1. So the domain x is said that x is a member of all real numbers. However, x is greater or equal to 1. Then the next part says we should find g inverse of 2. I will know that g of x is equal to 5 minus 3x. So let's let y to be equal to g of x. So y is equal to 5 minus 3x. So interchange x and y. So x is equal to 5 minus 3y. Then solve for y. So 3y is equal to 5 minus x. So y is equal to 5 minus x over 3. So what it means is that J inverse of x is equal to 5 minus x over 3. Then we are supposed to find J inverse of 2. So J inverse of 2 is equal to, wherever you see x here, put 2. 5 minus 2 divided by 3, which is equal to 3 divided by 3. And that's equal to 1. So J inverse of 2 is equal to 1. Two functions f and g are defined on the set of real numbers R by f is said that x maps to x over 2 minus x, but x is not equal to 2. And g is said that x maps to px plus q, where p and q are constants. Find J inverse, the inverse of J. And then the second part says that if J inverse of 4 is equal to 2, and J of f of 4 is equal to minus 8, you should find the values of p and q. So now, J of x is equal to px plus q. So let's let y to be equal to px plus q. So interchange the position of x and y. So x is equal to py plus q, making y the subject. See that py is equal to x minus q. And therefore y is equal to x over p minus q over p. So this means that J inverse of x is equal to x over p minus q over p. Then the next part of the question says that J inverse of 4 is 2. So let's find J inverse of 4. That's equal to 4 divided by p minus q over p. And this is equal to 2. So in other words, 4 minus q is equal to 2p. And this is our equation 1. And then he also says that J of f of 4 equals 8. So let's find J of f of x. What it means is that wherever you see x in J, put f of x. So this is equal to p times now x, and this is x divided by 2 minus x plus q. Now he says that J of f of 4. So J of f of 4 is equal to, wherever you see x here, put 4. That will be p times 4 divided by 2 minus 4 plus q. So 2 minus 4 is 2. 4 divided by, 2 minus 4 is minus 2. 4 divided by minus 2 is minus 2. So here becomes minus 2p plus q. And that he says is equal to minus 8. So this implies that minus 2p plus q equals minus 8, equation 2. Then from equation 1, we can see that 2p plus q is equal to 4, equation 1. So if we add equation 1 and then equation 2, we find out that minus 2p plus 2p is 0. So q plus q is 2q equals minus 8 plus 4 is minus 4. So if you divide through by 2, find out that q is equal to minus 2. So having found the value of q, we can put it in equation 1 and find the value of p. Know that 2p plus q equals 4. But q is minus 2, so 2p minus 2 equals 4. So 2p is equal to 6. Dividing 2 by 2, find out that p is equal to 3. So q is equal to minus 2 and then p is equal to 3. If h is said that x maps to 2x minus 1 divided by 3 minus x, where x is a member of real numbers and x is not equal to 3, find h inverse and state the largest possible domain of h inverse. So now, we know that h of x is equal to 2x minus 1 divided by 3 minus x. Sorry. So to find h inverse, let's let y to be equal to h of x. So this implies that y is equal to 2x minus 1 divided by 3 minus x. So let's exchange x and y. So x is equal to 2y minus 1 divided by 3 minus y. So we solve for y in this case. So x times 3 minus y is equal to 2y minus 1. So 3x minus xy is equal to 2y minus 1. So bring 1 here. 3x plus y, 1 is equal to 2y plus xy. So let's factorize y in this case. So y, we are left with 2 plus x equals 3x plus 1. So if we divide through, we find out that y is equal to 3x plus 1 divided by 2 plus x. So h inverse of x is equal to 3x plus 1 divided by 2 plus x. Now, to find the domain, we know that 2 plus x must not be equal to 0. So x must not be equal to minus 2. So the domain, x is said that x is a member of real numbers, but x is not equal to minus 2.